So after graduating film and theater at University of Winnipeg, in 2005, I worked at this film and television production company. I worked on this TV show, Mission XY, which is about 2 humanoid chromosomes that floated around in a human cell and helped preteens with health issues. As a production assistant, everything seemed to be going well, except for my relationship with the costume and props person. It seemed that we were kind of getting along a little bit, but there was this unease between us that kind of crept in. There was one day where the miniature character, the tiny chromosome guy, was walking around and finds a pepper packet, picks it up, and it makes him sneeze. So she made a 2-scale pepper packet, which was like this large. And so she asked me to go buy pepper to put in the packet. I went to the supermarket just down the street and came back with peppercorns because I felt that would have made sense to scale as opposed to just pepper, because he's small and it's a large pepper packet, so peppercorns to pepper. She felt that this wasn't a good idea and asked me to hammer the peppercorns into pepper. I asked her if it was a better idea just to go to the supermarket and exchange the peppercorns for pepper, but she said no, there wasn't enough time. Now I had a pretty clear idea that she was really fucking with me. There was no hammer in the office, so I found a boom pole and just whacked away at these peppercorns, hoping that they would turn into pepper, but nothing happened. There was one day when we were shooting an episode on hearing loss at the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada. What we were trying to do is replicate an airport, so we shot inside one of the old 70s airplanes inside, which was really great. And then we had to shoot an airport lounge scene. As we were about to film, there was this loud feral screaming that I had never heard before. And it was like loud, and it was piercing. It was this group of children just in the play area right next to the lounge. The assistant director approached me and asked me to see if we could quiet down the kids for a few minutes while we got the shot. I thought that was reasonable, and I went up to what looked like the counselors of this group of children, and I asked them, could the kids just be quiet for just a moment? And then they replied, sorry, but they're all deaf, so they don't understand how loud they're being. But you can go and tell them to be quiet if you want to. So I said, just 1 minute, please. And so I had to return to the AD and said, it's a group of deaf children. They don't understand how loud they're being. But the counselor said that I can try to tell them to be quiet if I wanted to. And then the AD said, well, why don't you try? And so I am walking back to this group of deaf children and trying to gesture to them to be quiet by doing this. By trying to get their attention, and then doing this, shh, 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 which makes them scream and laugh even louder than before. And then the AD just comes around and asks me, Damien, what's going on here? So completely enraged at not being sure of what to do, I just looked at the group of deaf children and went like this. They all screamed in terror. My producer told me never to work on another film or television set ever again.